And now it's time for the Cosmico Show.
I'm Clyde.
What?
I can dance too.
Okay, what?
Wait a minute, hold on. I think I'm actually starting to get a hang of this. Yeah, okay, and done. Oh no. Oh well. So as you all know, I, President Morris, have declared war on Ben Shapiro. He is a national threat to our country, and if I have to, I will do by all means to stop him. Bluey follows the adventures of Bluey, a blue heeler puppy, who lives with her mom, dad, and sister, usually playing or teaching a lesson for the viewers. Now, over the past, I want to say 3.5 years, Bluey has been really popular. Now, you may be thinking it's something like Peppa Pig, where like, oh, it got so popular because it's hilariously bad.
Fuck the fire, we agree.
But it's really not. So today, I'm going to be telling you my story of how I traumatized myself for 30 days by binge watching a preschool show. And who really knows, I might come out unscathed. But before all of that, just a quick history lesson. Bluey first started off with 2 pilots created by Joe Brum, because I'm going to be talking a lot about that name soon. So Bluey actually first started off with a 2016 pilot that was lost media for over 7 years because it was considered too dangerous. I don't want to show the actual pilot because I don't want this video to get taken down. God knows how much stuff Ludo Studios takes down about their favorite blue dog. Rest in peace, that Flash Kids video. But basically what caused that pilot to be sealed away from the online presence basically for forever was Bandit got hit with a swing. Yep, the dad got hit with a swing. Bandit pushed Bluey so hard that she went all across the swing and hit Bandit in the butt. That's what caused it to be lost media for 7 years. And they definitely do really similar slapstick in this final show. And then eventually we got the pilot, which came out a year later. Now, unlike the first one, it wasn't lost media. I'm showing it right now, actually. Oh, poof, it's going. Oh my god. Yeah, oh my god. Oh man, you just missed. Anyway, I don't think this one can be technically classified as a pilot because by the time this pilot was made, the show was already greenlit. Alright, time to transition seamlessly. Just a reminder, I'm not going to be talking about most of any episode specifically. This is a review of the series itself. Not necessarily any specific episodes, however, I will be bringing up specific episodes, if that makes sense. So right off the bat, the show already has a pretty good art style. Everything is brightly colored, and most, if not everything, in the Bluey universe uses more simplistic shapes. What I mean by that is everything and everyone either looks like a square, rectangle, or a circle. And surprisingly, even though it's like extremely brightly colored, it doesn't strain your eyes to the point where you want to pull them out. Now, art style is different from animation. And about the animation, it's bad. It's really bad. Okay, I may be over-exaggerating a little bit. It's not the worst thing in the world. But in the earlier seasons, the characters, well, the way how the characters are animated look extremely off, to me at least. And you want to know what that one thing is that ticks me off the most? It's the eyes. In the first season, the eyes always looked, when they weren't doing any complex emotion, like when they weren't speaking or doing anything, it just looked like they were staring into the void, and their eye would always go at the top of their actual eyelid. It always looks so off to me, and it's really noticeable in season 2 and season 3 that the fact that they fixed it. Oh yeah, and also season 1, there was a lot of animation mistakes. In season 2, there was only like 3, and in season 3, there wasn't any at all. Or at least any that was publicly acknowledged by the internet. And I know some people might point out inconsistencies with objects placement and whatnot, but like, those don't count. Those are animation mistakes. That's just laziness. But yeah, other than that eye problem and the animation mistakes, other than that, the animation in this show is really good. Also, a problem in season 1 is the fact that like, the characters would feel stiff at times. I don't know why, but since it's limited to rig movement instead of frame by frame, at moments in season 1, the characters just look stiff when movement happens. Only when like small mundane movements happen, like walking. Like in expressive movements, it looks really smooth and good. But in like mundane stuff, it just looks really boring. and like really stiff. Now you're probably wondering why the beginning half of this chapter started off with part 1. Well, that's because I'm going to be cutting this chapter off for a little while in order to introduce part 2. But first, I have to do something. No, we're not there yet. We don't have to do that right now.
Leave me alone!
Stop! Hurry, switch to the next segment.
Now!
Okay, I promise you this segment is not going to be that long. Dan the Man is a web series created back in 2010 by Dan and Joe Brun. Yeah, remember those names? AKA the creators of Bluey. It revolves around Dan, the man, going on adventures to stop the evil government, to save a village from pure destruction. Yeah, you heard me right. Uncle Stripe plays with ninja stars and guns while shooting king guards. This is also a spoiler-free review. So yeah, I'm not gonna spoil anything about the actual web series and or game that came out in 2015. Oh yeah, the game came out in 2015. In a collaboration with Half-Brick Studios, aka the creators of Jetpack Joyride. Dan the Man isn't talked about a lot by these creators or the public in general. Like, I'm pretty sure when the web series got a revival back in 2022, I don't even think it had Joe or Dan a part of it. Now, the reason why I'm talking about Dan the Man is the fact that it was a game and web series that I used to watch a lot when I was younger, as well played. It's extremely niche, but really unique. I just wanted to mention it here because, one, I really love this game. I've basically been playing it for over a decade at this point. And the studio that created Dan the Man, aka the studio that Dan and Joe were a part of, they actually created Dan the Man, Bluey, and Final Space. They just don't know how to stop making masterpieces. I hope it's contagious. Am I right, guys? I just wanted to mention Dan the Man because, one, this game needs all the attention that it can get because it's been massively unpopular for over a decade. 2, I've been playing it since I was like a fetus. 3, it just shows that they keep making good stuff. And 4, Uncle Stripe with guns. Think about that. I know you want it. Look at my eyes, boy. Anyway, back to the review.
Stop hurting me! Please!
Get back to the actual review of the show now. To be completely honest, the Bluey plot is about as simple as it can possibly get. 88% of the time, it starts off with Bluey or Bingo having an issue, so somebody tries to resolve it, teaching Bluey and or Bingo a lesson. However, sometimes the plots can be different. Like, for example, no matter who you are, you're not incapable of something, or no matter how old you are, you should always get your balls cut off. However, there is a specific episode that I do want to talk about. That episode being... I personally think this episode is amazing, and yeah, I do think it deserves its 10 on IMDb. Like I said, spoiler-free review. I know it seems like I'm a little too strict on it, but I genuinely want you to watch this series. Everything about this episode is beautiful, from the animation to the orchestra. And then another thing that they do is similarly to SpongeBob is do the close-up shots, but instead of like actual close-up shots with like the most ugly, disgusting, imaginable things ever on this planet, it's something like this. You cannot look me into the eye and say this is the most beautifulest thing you've ever seen. Overall, Bluey is an amazing show created by amazing people. And I've put it off for too long. I have to talk about it now. Yep, the fandom. I don't want to talk about this for long because I want to keep my mental health intact, but think of Undertale fans in 2016 and bronies in their prime in 2013. That's what this is. Bluey fans are objectively the worst fandom ever. Not because the people in there are bad people and there have been multiple cases of others bullying others because they drew a character wrong and making them almost want to commit suicide. Now, where have I heard that before? So no, not because of that. Not because of the adults who watch this show and the adults who draw the characters in diapers actively soiling it.
What the shit?
I don't hate the fandom because one of the first things that pop up when you search up Bluey fan art is active zoophilia. No, I hate them because... Actually, those are the exact reasons why I hate them. Don't get me wrong, not all Bluey fan stuff is bad. For example, there's this little short series created by this guy named Satoru Animations, I think. And it is extremely well made, but... it is heavily implied that one of the main characters is a homosexual. Never mind, this show sucks, I hate it, and I hope it gets canceled. What do you mean I'm closed-minded? What can I say? It's a nice show. It's created by people who I know can make amazing stories because I've been following all of their stories for a little over a decade now. And it's always nice to know that the same people who made the stuff that I used to watch in my younger years are still doing it for a new generation of kids. Even if they are two entirely different things. And even if I do sound like a fetus. But ignore that. And hey, maybe I'm jealous of the fandom because it's not as big as the Dan the Man or Final Space fandom. Who knows? But overall, it's a really nice show. And sure, I may not be a mega fan of Bluey, and I'm not gonna buy a $300,000 fursuit of Bandit, and I'm not gonna spend hours of my day drawing fetish art commissions of the characters in diapers and feet fetishes. I can really appreciate what this show is and what it's trying to offer. And what I said earlier doesn't mean I'm not gonna tune in for new episodes if they come out. No, back off. I'm watching it till it ends. So... yeah, that's basically the end of everything. Hope you had... wait, wasn't I supposed to be the president for a skit earlier?
Tactical nuke incoming!